Hello dear students, into this another video of the size reduction I am going to discuss the factors which are affecting the unit operation size reduction. As in the previous video I discussed about the term size reduction and what are the importance of the applications of it. In this video let's try to understand the factors affecting it. The size reduction unit operation is affected by a number of factors, but the main factor which is affecting it, that are the characteristics of the materials. Generally, the materials will be either solid particles or the liquid globules or the droplets. The characteristics of the materials can be given by the different terms. The first term that is used, that is called hardness. Hardness basically refers to the resistance to the scratching, cutting or the abrasion. Generally, the Mohs scale is used to describe the hardness of the material. The Mohs scale is denoted in the terms of number 1 to 10. The 10 is for the hardest material in the world, which is known as a diamond. So as we are going from the number 1 to 10, the hardness is going to be increased, and as the hardness is going to be increased, it makes the size reduction process somewhat more difficult. The second characteristic of material to be considered, which is called as a toughness. The toughness can be described as a resistance to the fracturing or the breaking. As for example, the materials which are either soft or the tough, like as for example the crude drugs. The crude drugs means the drugs which are obtained from the plant sources, like from the various plants like barks, root, stems and the leaf. They are somewhat difficult to size reduce compared to the hard and the brittle particles like a glass, which are generally easy to size reduce. Another characteristics to be considered when we are going for the size reduction of the material, that is stickiness. Stickiness basically refers to the characteristics of the material which sticks to the either blade and oblique or to the sieves or the screen. As for example, in the case of resinous or the gumming material which are obtained from the plant like a simple gum, when we are going for the size reduction of the such a material, because of the generation of the heat, this material may become softened and they will stick to the various surfaces. The fourth property which is to be considered, that is called the material structure. Here into this slide I try to explain you the one of that particular material structure which is obtained from the plant material, that is like a bark, root and the leaves, and versus to the minerals which are obtained from the various from the mountains and the marine source. In the case of this plant structure, these are like having the fibrous structure which are somewhat difficult to size reduce compared to the minerals which are obtained from the various other sources, and they are easy to size reduce. Another characteristic is moisture content. Generally, the moisture content affects the hardness, toughness, and the stickiness of the material. Another characteristic that is called as softening temperature. Certain material like a wax, as for example the stearic acid, which becomes softened if the heat is going to be generated, and if it becomes softened, it converts into the liquid state, and it will make the size reduction almost impossible. Another characteristic of the material that is known as a physiological effect. As for example, certain drug material which are potent in nature. The potent means they are effective in very low concentration. So when we are going for the size reduction of such a material, it will lead to the generation of the dust, and because of the generation of the dust, the operators which are handling the size reduction equipment will suffer from the harmful effect. So under these conditions, try to use the enclosed mill to prevent the harmful effect to the operators as well as the environment. The another factors that will be considered to be the ratio of the feed size to the product size. What is the meaning of the feed size? The feed size means the particle size of the material which is undergoing the size reduction, and the product size means the particle size of the material which is coming out at the end of size reduction. So if we take the ratio of the feed size to the product size, if it is giving the high value, then it means that we'll have to carry out the size reduction in not a one step, but we'll carry out in a number of steps. As for example, for such a material, first step, go for the crushing of the material. After the crushing of the material, convert the material into the coarse powder into the second step, and in the third step, convert that coarse powder into the fine powder and try to make it monodisperse. So, by this size reduction factors which are affecting the particular unit operation, The powders should be as far as possible into the narrow particle size distribution or the monodisperse, and which will facilitate the formation of the dosage from the API very faster, and it will remain stable throughout the shelf life. If you like my video, then please click on the like button, and please subscribe my channel or this YouTube video channel to for the further videos. Thank you.